Hello everyone, and today we'll learn how to square a number and take the square root of a number. Okay, so first of all, what does it mean to square a number? So to square a number means is to multiply a number by itself. So let's say if we have 4. If we want to square 4, or 4 squared, that's just the same thing as 4 times 4, which is what, 16. Okay, so if we say we want to square 9, what does that mean? If we're going to square 9, that's the same thing as 9 squared, which is 9 times 9, which is equal to 81. Okay, so let's say if I want to square the number 0. If I want to square 0, that's 0 squared, which is equal to 0 times 0, which is 0. Okay, now we're going to go on to squaring, or taking the square root of a number. Okay, so we want to find the square root of a number. Now, what does this mean? What this means is that we're going to try and find a number when it multiplies by itself that'll equal the number we have right now. So let's say if we're taking the square root of 36. What two numbers multiplying by itself? So let's say, like, for example, 1 times 1. Those are the same numbers. What two numbers that are the same multiplied by itself would equal 36? Well, that's simple. It'd be 6. Because think about it. If we do 6 times 6, that would equal 36, which is what we have here. So let's say if we're trying to, okay, I'll give you another example. If we're trying to take the square root of 121, what would this be? Well, this is basically saying, like, what two numbers that are the same, like one multiplied by each other, would equal 121? Well, if that would be 11, because 11 times 11 would be 121. Usually in maths, it's good to know the square roots from 1 to 15. So going like from 1 to 15, knowing all those numbers, like when they're squared, what would the value be? For example, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. It's good to learn it all the way until 15 and just memorize those. After that, usually like your teacher would probably give you a calculator on normal questions, or like in normal tests or something like that. Okay, now I'll give you a practice question. Let's say if we wanted to square 1.1, what would that be? Well, 1.1 squared, or we're squaring 1.1, that's the same thing as 1.1 times 1.1. So that's 1.1 times 1.1. We just do simple multiplication. Add them together. 1, 2, 1. There's 2 decimal points, so it's 1.21. 1.1 squared is 1.21. Usually, when you're in class, it's rare for a teacher to ask you to take the square root of a decimal number unless it's very simple. Okay, well, usually that's the basics. But let's say if we have like let's say if we have a different value. Let's say we don't have a perfect squared value. So let's say if we have like 16.25, and the teacher asked us to find what number 1 squared is closest to this. So when we take the square root of this, what whole number is this closest to? Well, we know that 4 squared is equal to 16, and 5 squared is equal to 25. And 16.25 is between these two, but it's more towards 4. So if we're going to try and guess, it would probably be near 4. So it'd probably be like 4.15 or 4.05 or closer to that. But we know it's between 4 and 5. Usually the teacher wouldn't ask you the like exact value of like a simple like decimal number, but yeah. So just quick recap. we have squaring a number, which is multiplying a number by itself. So like 4 squared would be 4 times 4, which is 16. Or like, let's say 15 times, or 15 squared, which is 15 times 15, which would be like 225. If we're trying to take the square root of a number, it would be like taking the square root of like, let's say like 25. So what two numbers that are the same multiplied by itself equals 25? Well, we know that's 5. Let's say we want to take the square root of 196. Well, 14 times 14 is 196, so it's 14. And yep, that's about it. See you guys later.